Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for Tuesday, November the 23rd, and starting with the Russell here. Now, wave 4 has pulled back a long way here, so it makes me feel that I may have done something wrong within this count. It hasn't overlapped wave 1 yet, and the stochastics is really pulling down for a buy signal, so it's looking that it would like to move up further. But if I try to count it in a different way, say taking it from this low here, then, or even this low, it still means that the move to the upside is not finished, because it wouldn't count with 5 waves from here to here. You with me? So there's still further upside. Yesterday we called the low in just here, and the low is holding. Does it look very promising? Possibly, but it's just a little bit too early to tell. We should see some lift in it. We don't have 5 waves down here yet. That's another thing that we'd need to look at. We've got 3 waves down to the current low. So I just think we should sort of hang in there. There's obviously fantastic support across the top over here for this. Obviously this correction here, I feel like I've done everything correctly. Everything feels okay, looks okay to me. Obviously, it could be counted differently as well, but this is my best sort of fit. It's just that this wave 4 is lagging a little bit, and the rest of the market is looking for the top of this wave 1 to be in place. I can still see the banks pushing up higher, but I don't think there's any banks in here anymore. Even small banks I think were taken out, but I'm not a full book on this. I don't know what stocks really govern this, what other stocks have been going through this sideways correction here in the small caps. So I don't really know here. On the tick chart, just focusing in on this particular move here for this. So that's having... it's possible to have wave 1 up there, I guess, because, but still. An A wave, a B wave, and all the way down here for the C wave on this low here. So, I don't know, it's not really a nice impulse wave to the upside here, but this move here, coming down through here, is in 3 waves. So as long as that low there stays in place and it's above this low, then everything is okay. If this low gets breached here, then we start to need to look at having an impulse wave to the downside at that point. So yeah, we'll just, like yesterday, we just thought we'd just wait it out. So that's what we're doing at the moment. We'll just wait. We've seen this occur here. Let's just see if it finds support there. But there is weakness creeping into the market, so it's not looking good for this. But like I mentioned, I don't know the stocks within the constituents within this particular Russell 2000s. I don't know which ones govern it, and so on and so on. I don't know their counts and so on. But let's just see if this low breaches here first. Alrighty, the NASDAQ and the S&P. This is the daily chart for this market. So as you know, we've been looking up as basically 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, looking for the top there. Our target to the upside was 16,000. Let's just go in to the 4-hour chart. So this was our little band here, 16,800 and 16,650, in between that there to the upside. This little move up through here is a bit raggedy. It could be counted in different ways. We've been looking for a top this week, and we just may have it in. We may have it in play at this point. There's also a case on the tick chart here to have wave 4 sitting under here as well, and having one more move to the upside here. Even if that's the case, see, the other point here is that 16,500 is a medium level, and it does appear that we've got a classic trading levels pattern here. Well, half of it, we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then we'll see the ABC correction. So we've got the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and I think that we're in this space here at the moment. We need to come down further, of course, but I think we've got that top in. Otherwise, there's going to be, you know, one more high in here. So I really, I don't know. And as I mentioned coming up here before, I've been harping on about it, is markets don't always top the way that you would like them or think that they would. I mean, some do and some are perfect. Yeah, I mean, you have to understand that the index here is a bit of a following indicator on the stocks, really, isn't it? So yeah, we need to take it with a pinch of salt in a way. But look, even if I'm wrong and there's another high here, then it would come down after that. That's the main takeaway here for all of this. So in terms of our trade, we've been long here and probably long on the intraday as well. But we've been stopped out. We've reached our target. The move down here looks a little bit dramatic, so it gives it a good sense of a top being in place. But I know that this can be counted differently. I've had wave 1 here and wave 2 here, but we could put wave 1 here and 2 here. And if that was the case, then we could look at all of this as the third wave and look at this as the fourth wave over here. So on the 100 ticks. So look, basically what I'm saying is that I'm not very helpful at this particular point in time with this video. This was the count on the intraday here, but yesterday we counted 5 waves down here, not on the 100 ticks because it was a bit small. Was it 10 ticks? Yeah, so that's the top there. Yesterday we spent a bit of time going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had that 5-wave move here. So looking for a move back. Doesn't look very impulsive here, does it? Do you know? I mean, it's got overlapping wave structures, so which is sort of okay. But this one here now has moved below. Well, that one, and that's important because we could have built a case of 1 and an A and a B and a C for 2 here, and up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2. But this move here is really kind of, well, put it out of commission, so to speak. So, yeah. But the important thing here is that I did spend a bit of time counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here. So yesterday, I don't know if we're down here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, wherever we were. So all I can say today is that it's possible to have a top in play now. This move down here as 5 waves really helps confirm that. And we have been looking for that top. We've been on a long journey all the way up here. Do I have this right? I really don't know. But that impulse wave to the downside, it looks like the S&P is in the same boat, but it looks like the S&P has got 3 waves coming down through here. So seeing it as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, and then moving up there. So that could be the case as well. So we need to be a little bit careful. If I can just bring, while we're here, this is the S&P on 10 ticks. It's not counted. I haven't counted it, but it does look like that's all the same family here, and then this one here is the same family. You know, all of that belongs together. So we've got 2 different pictures here. So it does appear to be an ABC pattern here. So in this case over here, this would come down to the 5 waves down here to probably the 47, and then bounce at that point. But that would be 5 waves coming down to here. So anything sort of below that would be negative at that point, but that's just a working chart of mine, so I won't look at that. But let's go and have a look at the S&P. So I thought that because we're looking at close on the top, we'll have a look at the weekly chart today. So in a nutshell, we've got wave 4 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for 5 of 1 and then back for 2 at that point. So yeah, I mean, it does look like when we look at it on the intraday, it looks like a long way up here, and it looks like we can put wave 5 on the top here. But when you look at it on the weekly chart, it becomes pretty obvious that that that's not the case, and we could look at it as wave 1 and 2. So I need to show that a few times as such, because when you look at it here, you'd go, well, can't we put just wave 5 on the top here? I mean, there'd be a good case for that looking at this daily chart here, wouldn't there? But looking at the bigger picture, it's a little bit small at that point. I mean, is it possible that we've made a mistake somewhere and we've got wave 3 over here? Well, that's possible as well. So if we come down past the 61.8% here, from this low to this high here, and it may not even pull back the 50-60% in all of this as well. It's just something that we'll need to monitor, but we've got to stick the flags in the sand somewhere. So yeah, so if it drops below that, I wouldn't call it in as wave 5. I'd just put wave 3 up here for that, because as I mentioned before, wave 3 was a little bit smaller than wave 1, and I'm not that happy about that, but it's not up to me. Yeah, so in this case, we've been looking up, well, 5 waves up through here. Basically, that's what we're looking at. And do we have a top in play? Well, there's a good case for that. Is it the case? I don't know. I think it's just at a point in time where we need to just take our longs out and, you know, mull it all over. And this is our 5 waves to the upside: 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, fourth wave. Do I have all of that wrong? Am I wrong there somewhere? Well, possibly. You know, it's a fickle old business, this charting game, you know. Sometimes you get it right and sometimes you get it wrong, and but we're never far off. That's what I always seem to see as well. So in this case, if I see the thing here between wave 4 and wave 5 here, it's quite small as well, but that's okay, because the extension's in wave 3 here, from 2 to 3 here, the extension's in wave 3. So that means that wave 1 here and wave 5 here will be roughly the same. So yeah, I mean, that could be it there at that point. So yeah, anyway, I don't know what else to do really at this point. I've been warning you know, last week that we'll be topping out early this week. I've been, you know, onto it, and again onto it today. So it's I've expressed my opinion loudly enough. But is it true? Is that top in play there? I'm not quite sure. There's different ways to look at all of this as well. I understand that. We can also put wave 1 over here for this and look for a bigger move to the upside. Well, I think we may have that somewhere. Not quite. This is just another little count here for this. So this is probably, yeah, you can see how messy this is here. You know, I've had it as 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's okay. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. And then if that's wave 4 here, it doesn't quite overlap wave 1, so that's cool. But how do we count this off here? Do you know? This is a bit of a mystery here for this. Should I put wave 4 over here for that and look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here? That's all doable as well. And then up for 5 here and finished off there. Or do we need to look at this here as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, finishing just here and then having another move up? I mean, what we can see here is that there's something really fishy going on here, because it's very volatile here and there's overlapping wave structures. It's like the liquidity is being sucked out of the market in a way, you know. So I think I've said my piece really. I don't know if there is going to be another high, or we have the top in place here for this. Bit of a mystery. I don't think the tip chart can do as much better here anyway. Yeah. The only way that can be is over here for that. We just look at this for a moment. Yeah. This is being sold off here, isn't it, quite strongly? But let's just go to, let's go in and have a closer look, shall we, at that little leg. Looks like it's just sort of opening up a little bit, because this here, that would be, if I can just take you on the journey, that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of that's wave 1 here, right? So I could probably go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for wave 1, and then back for wave 2, and then down for 3, but that's going to make that a bit smaller. So it's probably wave 1 here, wave 2 here, then down for 1 and back for 2 here, and then down for 3, 4 and 5. So there's still more to unfold here for this. So yeah, 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, and we could go to 3, 4, and that's a little fourth wave there, and that's 1, 2, so that's not there yet. So it would be down here further before we get a bounce. But I suppose once what we could do here, I mean, this could be a big third wave opening here. I guess what you could do here, as soon as you see a nice little rally coming back up, you know, 10, 15% or something, then use that to go short under, you know. But you have to wait for the bounce now. I mean, you've missed this. This is missed. You'd only be chasing your tail here to a point, unless you put in a very small amount and didn't worry about it too much. I need to clean these up here because this is only 5 ticks and I won't be back here. So all of that said, let's just go back to the hourly chart. Let's just check on that. Okay, so that's it's good that it's moving. It's good to see volatility. So it's creating that overlapping wave structure there now. So I think that we can put this in play now, put that top. It's how to put the top in. That's the thing. I just don't feel comfortable. I can't see it. I can't see. Anyway, it looks quite severe now that it's overlapped this low here for this, unless this is some sort of A wave, B wave and C wave down here for this. It's pretty wild. Yeah. We've got to call it in. I just don't know if to put it there or there. Anyway, for the shorting side of things, this move down here, we looked at it and we know that it's had a little bit further to go, so it's going to come into group 2 here somewhere, and then it's going to check back here. So that means that after that check back, it will leave that low exposed. So then if you feel like switching teams, then that would be the short setup at that point. Just take it easy as well. Don't go shoveling it all in, because we need to build a picking the top is dangerous business. You know what I mean? It's very dangerous. It's much easier to trade the trend, but feeding the beast, you know, a small position here and a small position a bit further under and another small position and so on. But we do need to see that 4-7 retested. That's one thing. And also two is that when we're talking about 4-7, we've got group 1 above and group 2 below. That's the swing range. So it's good to know that, because if we get a tested support on top of group 1, well, then we know that we're leaving this number. If this becomes the retested resistance here, then we know that we're leaving this number to the downside. But it must be retested. Like over here, you see how that spike came through? So the spike came through here, was down here, and then it came back and it never came back again. But it is that low there that you can look at, you know, to start the short. And you can bring it up to the second low if you get it. But the retesting of group 2 here as the resistance is really what you're looking for. It's not, when I say it's really what you're looking for, that's not quite true, of course. There's many roads to Rome. There's two things that you need to look at here from my perspective. Is you want to see the 47 retested, and you want to see group 2 retested, the 65, the 4665 retested and failed. So getting a small position, you know, in here is early, and then getting another one under the group 2 here as the retested is the way to go forward. And then also the next level down is the midpoint, so the 50 here. So that will also play out in a classic trading levels pattern to the downside. So the arrival, the reaction, the first low below the level, the ABC pattern here, and then down again from that point. So that's how you would play that out here for this. So yeah, I mean, on the website you'll see, I think we've put them in there, haven't we? The bearish patterns. We haven't seen them for a while because we've been in a bullish market. But there's only really 3 patterns that can occur. This is the overshoot pattern here, so take pictures of those. But they're on the website there somewhere. Alrighty, well, let's just see what occurs at this point in time. Okay, so just to recap, I don't know if we got a top in. There's a reasonable case for it. You know, we're starting to see impulse waves to the downside. I don't have a large impulse wave down here because if this is wave 1 and 2 here, and this is wave 3 here, well then wave 4 is going to try to retest the 4700, and then wave 5 is going to come down. So after 5 waves down from the top here, then it may give a second retest to that area before coming down again in that space. So a bit of a rough ride. But yeah, looking at that as 1 and 2 and 3 finishing off in here, rallying to 4, that probably won't go back to the 47 in this regard, because it will be too high from the 40% from the top to the bottom here, 40% retracement, and then another move down. So yeah, looking for 5 waves down at that point. Let's just have a look at the NASDAQ again, because we've just had that nice move. Let's just go to the tip chart, check on that. Yeah, it looks like it will drop lower. It looks like it wants to retest the 16.4, and it'll be something like this here. This is not quite finished, this move. I suppose you could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to here. Nah, that doesn't really work. It's all part of that, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it could be. It might be on this low here. Just be careful about that one. Not quite finished. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, so we're looking at a possible top, but this number here also too for this market hasn't been retested as well in this space. So it's come down. It's had the arrival and the reaction and the first low below the level. So we can look at it like this here. It's come down, it's had the reaction from here, and then it's come down for the first low. It's not quite finished just yet, but then we should get some sort of retest back into that 16.5 at that point. We may get a nice clean sort of cut back into it at this stage and then down again. That's possible. Yeah, so that will be... And the other point here too, this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here, a C wave down here, and then moving back up again. But if that was the case, sorry for shooting the breeze here, I'm just figuring it out for myself more, so you don't need to hang around. So it's at the 50%, so normally you'd be looking for if that's wave 2 here, then, and that's the lowest low at that point, so that's at 50%, which is okay, but yeah. So it's possible to have another high in here. See, this is what I say, I just don't know. I know that we're close, but I don't know if we've got it just yet. So I'll just have to leave it at the point that I don't know, but we don't have any more trades in. Everything's been taken out, stopped out, whatever. But yeah, that's it. Okay, alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.